Hi guys, welcome back to Inventing a Better You. My name is Valentin, and today I have a very special video for you where I'm going to show you how you can use the historical data of a stock to predict its price movements in the future, both in the short term and the long term. Now, this is a wonderful strategy that can benefit both day traders and buy and hold investors, and it's an additional layer of sort of strategy that you can apply to your educated guessing. Now, to get things started, I'm going to use an app called Webull, and I've made a video last week on it. If you haven't seen this already, please go check it out. And for the stock we're going to pilot, it will be Tesla because it's a highly traded stock that a lot of you are familiar with. Now, to get on the screen that I'm at here, you're just going to be on the Webull's homepage, and you can search for a stock, type in the symbol. I typed in Tesla, and here I am. The current graph is the stock price graph. As you can see, it indicated by this green line that's running up to 846. That's the stock price of Tesla, which ended last Friday. At the bottom, we have just a volume graph with green bars indicating in a particular days where the stock was highly bought, and red where it was highly sold. Now, to do our analysis, I'm going to cover 4 technical indicators that are being used by, these are known indicators that are used by analysts in order to predict movements of stock price. And the first one we're going to go over is we're going to click here in the top right on this little graph icon, and we're going to select RSI. RSI is the relative strength index indicator, and it's used to identify movements in price or changes in price, and it helps you to tell if your particular stock is close to overbought or oversold territory. Now, to be able to do this, you have to set the parameters, and to do that you can click on the RSI brackets 9 through here on the left and click the hexagon, and you can modify the little time periods. For short term, you want these two values to be beneath 10. So one of them is in the very short term, which is the 3 days, and the other one is 9 days. These are time periods, and each time period is reflected, each time period is 1 day based on how I have it selected here. So how do you read the RSI? Well, there are 2 lines, the yellow and the orange. The yellow is the 3-day and the orange is the 9-day. In order to have a positive trend, a strong positive trend, you want the yellow line to be above the orange. Also, more importantly, as we can see, we have a 30 and the 70 labeled here. 30 is the oversold territory, 70 is the overbought territory. So if you have a negative slope of the yellow line towards the 30, that indicates a potential downtrend. And the way you can kind of see that better is to think of an imaginary line 50 right in the middle. And as you're approaching the 50 with the yellow, or you're going past it below towards 30, that's signaling a negative trend. So in this case, we're above the 50, which is good, but we're not above the orange, which is not good. So essentially here is we've experienced a positive trend because we're above the 50 towards 70. However, that trend, the strength of that trend is not very strong because the yellow is not above the orange. So I hope that's not too confusing. Just to simplify things, always remember the yellow should be above the orange. Now, Tesla is sitting in the overbought territory or close to, which means that at any point we might see a reversal in the stock price and therefore a reversal in this trend. So be wary of that. However, we don't know when that may occur. Now, Tesla obviously has a lot of investor confidence towards the CEO and its sort of the different projects that they work on. So I don't expect strong reversals in the stock price, but small fluctuations do occur. As you can see by the 2 graphs, there's a little bit of up and down all the time. So that's the RSI. The next technical indicator that I'm going to show you is the MACD, which is a momentum indicator. So this is kind of a principle of convergence, divergence, and it explains the strength of a specific momentum, like positive or downtrends. And the way you read the MACD is similar to the RSI. There are two important lines, the yellow and the green. The yellow line, once again, is to be above the green line to signal this positive momentum, and ideally have a positive slope. So as you can see here, where you have a bunch of green bars, we're seeing a yellow above the green with a positive slope. In a day ago, so last Friday, we're seeing the yellow beneath the green, and we're getting these red bars. So this signals a potential downtrend. Now, keep in mind the data that you're seeing here is all historical. So I have it set to 1 day. So basically, this is kind of, these graphs are over here at the end. They're represented by Friday's data. So these are not projections in the future. This is what happened to the stock in the past. And what we're seeing between these two indicators, both the RSI and the MACD, are showing this negative trend that happened on Friday. So likely in the nearest short term, this trend may continue based on these two indicators. Now, to improve our guess, we're going to add two extra indicators, which we're going to map out on the actual chart here. So the first one is the exponential moving average, the EMA. The EMA is represented by three lines, an orange, a yellow, and a purple. You want the orange line, which is representing the shortest time frame, which I believe it's 1 day, one time period, sorry. You want the orange to be above the yellow, and the yellow needs to be above the purple. And what we're seeing here on Friday is that the orange actually crossed the yellow, potentially even going below it, which signals a potential downtrend or a stall in the target price. And again, for EMA, you can click on it, click the hexagon, and change these intervals if you want to look at analysis for a longer time period, which I'm going to do shortly once I'm done with this. And if you scroll down here, you can see a definition of what this technical indicator means. And you can change the colors. It's really nice how you can customize this. Now, something similar to the EMA, the Bollinger Bands. I'm going to take away the EMA so it doesn't get too messy and put the Bollinger Bands. And the Bollinger Bands, once you set that setting, you get three separate lines. So you have a red line, which is the top line, which is the resistance. Then you have a blue line in the middle, and then a faint green at the bottom, which is the support line. The stock price is represented by the fluorescent green. You can see it over here. And I'm not sure if I can make this more clear for you. Maybe if you can switch to candlesticks. There we go, for candlesticks. So practically what candlesticks show is what happened to that stock price that particular day. Each candlestick represents 1 day. So a green one means the stock increased for the duration of that day. So it closed at a price higher than it opened. And a red one means that it closed at a price lower than what it opened. So we can see the candlesticks here are sitting on the blue line in the middle, which is not good. In order for a Bollinger Band to indicate a positive and strong uptrend, you want your stock price to be, the stock price line or these candlesticks, you want them to be closer to the red, far from the green, and above the blue line. So what we're seeing here, they're sitting right in the middle, right in the blue line. We don't know the direction they're going in, but we do know that in the past few days, there's been more shares sold than bought here. So basically, coming back to my original idea, I've mapped out a total of 4 technical indicators for you, showing the similar trend that in the short term, within the past day, we saw a decrease in the share price, and we saw a sort of in terms of the MACD, it was the momentum showed a strong negative downtrend that's expected to continue. The RSI, the relative strength index, showed us again a downtrend because the yellow was beneath the orange, but not a strong downtrend. We have the yellow has a positive line, which I believe if we shorten it to an hour for the interval, yeah, we can see that the yellow's positive slope actually crosses the orange. So the strength in the price change is not that high, and therefore it could go either way in the short term. But overall, for the 1 day, the prediction is that this price dropped and it might continue to drop on Monday. So that is how you can use this for like a day trading aspect or any sort of short-term investing. Now, if you want to take these indicators and use them for long-term, first thing you got to do is change this 1 day to a month, for example. And automatically what we're seeing here is, and in the indicators themselves, you also want to change the time frame. So this can become much higher, and so will this. Go back, and for MACD, we're increasing the time frames here. And what we're seeing is for the long term. So in the past month, Tesla showed, according to the RSI, a strong positive uptrend in the price movements, highly in the overbought territory. And the way I can tell that is because the yellow line is above the orange, which I've previously indicated that's what it's supposed to look like with the positive slope. And the MACD, we're seeing the yellow line is above the green, which is what's supposed to be for a positive trend, with all these green bars demonstrating. The histograms is showing the same thing. And over here, the price target shown by the candlesticks, the green candles, are very close to the resistance lines, which is the red. So the Bollinger Bands, again, are showing that there's been a strong positive trend that's expected to continue. So basically, the story for the long term is that overall, Tesla has been in an uptrend with the stock price that's not expected to shift anytime soon. However, Tesla is a news stock, so meaning if bad news were to hit it, it immediately fluctuates. So we can start seeing a downtrend right away, a reversal in these charts. But in my opinion, if you're planning on buying this and holding it for the long term, according to this chart analysis, these trends are expected to continue. So it's a safe bet to keep it for the long term. So that's how you use these technical indicators. I've only covered 4 of them in my video. There are many, many, many more indicators, and we're going to take a look in some extra ones in my future videos. I hope you found this useful. I know it's a bit more, it's tougher to swallow or understand if you've never seen this kind of thing before, but if you take some time and read into each one of them and take one of them at a time, I can guarantee you'll have an easier time understanding, and it's an important thing to use when deciding to purchase or sell a stock. If you found this video useful, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And once again, this was purely for educational purposes. I am not a licensed trading or investor representative. I'm just trying to help you guys out and showing you different tools that you can use to improve your portfolios and make more money in the short and long term. All right, thanks guys. See you later. Bye.